Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, everyone out there. How you doing? How you feeling? What's up? How is life treating you on this beautiful, for me, Sunday evening? And for those of you out there who are listening from many different places around the globe, it could be morning time for you, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I hope that the day is treating you well. And I hope that you have gotten some reading in. That's right. Let me reintroduce myself for those of you who are OGs. Y'all know what I've been doing. I've been doing this for real, since 2017. That's when I actually started the live read alouds. I was doing it on Facebook. So this was pre-pandemic. Okay. And then I did it for like a couple years. Then I had took a break, then came back, was doing it again during the pandemic, had to take another break, and then came back. All right. So I've been doing this actually consistently again. Probably this may be going on my fifth month. But for those of you who do not know who I am Miss Sasha. That's what I usually go by. And I am the founder and executive director of ABC Read. That's one of my many positions that I have. And ABC Read is a nonprofit organization that I was blessed to be able to start over 10 years ago. And our mission is to develop and nurture a culture of literacy in Black and underserved communities. We've given away over 8,000 books. I keep books with me, usually keep books in my car so that when I go to different schools and I substitute teach, shout out to especially my one school. I definitely love going to Ginn Academy. Shout out to those brothers there. They definitely love when I bring the books in. I bring a lot of comic books for them, self-help books. So I appreciate them. And I love the fact that they love when I bring books. That is so exciting. They'll stop me like, Miss Abdullah, I got that book that you gave me, and I've been reading it. Or another brother came to me. He said, yes, I had the books that you gave me. I actually had I let them read those books. And I said, okay, that those are the kinds of conversations. Those are the things that we want to hear our young people talking about swapping books. I mean, who'd have thunk it, right? 2025, you got all kind of stuff coming at them, social media, all of that. And here it is, a book, a tangible book, physical copy. And this brother like, hey, I gave these books to my cousins so they can read. Or, yes, I read this book, stopping me. That's what I'm talking about. That's impact. So, with that being said, I am here again to read aloud to you guys. This is a cool book. Of course, before I do a read aloud, I like to read the book first. That's the key to making sure that you have a good book to read aloud. Read it out loud before you read it to your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, whomever, just to make sure that it's a story that flows well, that is captivating, something that you enjoy yourself. That's the key to a great read aloud. If you can't enjoy it, if it's something that's like, you're like, man, it's kind of boring. Guess what? 9 times out of 10, that child or whatever group of people you're reading to, they're probably going to think it too. You're not going to really be into it. So make sure that you enjoy the book yourself as the reader. Okay? So, that being said, bam, this is the book that I have for you guys. It's called If the Shoe Fits. I said, wow. I said, it made me think about something. Yeah. If the Shoe Fits. That's the title of this book. Gary Soto, illustrated by Terry Widener. And shout out to my dear sister friend, Sister Risa, made another donation to our organization. This is one of the books that she donated. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Y'all love it. I love it. Yes, she donated close to 40 books. And she's given us many books in the past too. But shout out to her, Sister Risa. Oh, Beautiful, phenomenal sister. So I want y'all to think about something. Anybody remember having to get hand-me-downs? I remember, or even if you got clothes from, even if it wasn't maybe from an older sibling, maybe you got clothes from an aunt or an uncle, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, they listen, that helped your parents out so they wouldn't have to be able to spend a lot of money on clothes. So this is a real thing, and talk to your children about that. And remember, when you talk to your children about it and letting them know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Okay. So keep in mind, that's the one of the things that's going to be talked about here in this story, if the shoe fits. Here we go. Rigo had 3 brothers and 1 sister. And when you counted his parents and Uncle Celso, who lived with them, his home was as crowded as a bus. He didn't really mind the noisy house. What Rigo minded most were his hand-me-down clothes. His oldest brother, Hector, passed his shirts and pants down to Manuel, who passed them to Carlos, who passed them to Rigo. Rigo passed them into the garbage can. Mom, I need some new clothes, Rigo cried one day when he put on a jacket that Carlos had outgrown. 2 buttons were missing, and the fabric was faded. Mijo, new clothes cost money, his mother said. When Rigo started to pout, Uncle Celso brought out his old wallet and handed Rigo a $5 bill. Let me help you, Uncle said. Rigo refused the money. He didn't want to tell his uncle that new clothes cost more than that. But for Rigo's 9th birthday, his mom bought him a pair of brand new shoes. They were called loafers. They were the fanciest shoes Rigo had ever owned. They didn't even have laces to drag in the dirt. Put a penny in them, Rigo's sister Teresa said. That's the style. But instead of worthless pennies, Rigo pushed in nickels. There, he said. He slipped into his new shoes and clicked his heels together. That day, Rigo marched down the street, grinning proudly at his shoes. He liked how the nickels glinted in the sunlight. At the corner playground, some kids were throwing water balloons at each other. Rigo wanted to join them, but was afraid he might ruin his shoes. Suddenly, Angel sneaked up from behind and yelled, "Hey, how come you got nickels in your shoes? You ain't rich." "It's the style," Rigo answered. "There ain't no style like that," Angel growled. "Nobody wears those kind of stupid shoes." Then Angel demanded the nickels from Rigo's shoes. "Nah, Angel," Rigo begged. "I don't want to mess up my new loafers. It was hard to put the nickels in." "Forget your loafers," Angel snapped, and he ripped the nickels from the slots. Rigo went home and threw his shoes into the closet. But at the end of the summer, he changed his mind. He had received an invitation to a birthday party. It was from Christy Hernandez. No girl had ever invited him to a birthday party before. On the day of the party, Rigo brushed his teeth extra hard and combed his hair 4 different ways. He settled on slicking his hair back. He felt suave. Next, he put on his newest looking hand-me-downs. And finally, he got his fancy loafers from the closet. Come on! Ugh, he grunted, trying to cram his feet into the shoes. When he stood up, he knew the shoes were too tight. Pain stabbed the top of his feet as he took a step. He took off the torture shoes and stretched them, yanking on the leather. He put on his thinnest socks, even though they had holes in the heels. Rigo left the house walking stiffly. After 3 painful blocks, he wished he were crawling instead of walking. But lucky for him, he discovered that his feet didn't hurt so much if he walked backwards. He walked like that all the way to the party. Nice shoes, Christy said, greeting him at the door. Thanks, said Rigo, trying to smile. He didn't want to tell her that they were killing his feet. He was sure that he had blood blisters and one of his little toes had fallen off. But if you don't mind, I'm going to take them off. Why? Christy asked. Rigo's mind whirled for an answer. He clicked his fingers and said, to play soccer. When he scored 2 goals, his feet felt better. Over dinner that night, Rigo told his family that Christy's party was great. Everyone was there. Jose, Louis, Julie, Debbie, Joey, Carolina, Lupe, Rachel, Sophia, Martin, Jamie, Lily, Maya, and Maya's little sister. I forgot her name. Plus some little cousins of Christy's who were still in their diapers. Hiole, that's a lot of kids to feed, Uncle Celso remarked. Yeah, but a party's more fun with lots of kids, Rigo said. Next year, mijo, we can have a party for you like that, his uncle said. And you know why? Rigo shook his head. Because I have a new job as a waiter, Uncle announced. I'll make a lot of money. Mucho dinero. After dinner, Uncle Celso began to gather the dirty plates from the table. Rigo's father protested. Leave them for the kids. No, hombre. I have to practice being a waiter, Uncle said. I'll help with the dishes, said Rigo. He liked to be with Uncle and listen to his stories about Mexico. Rigo rolled up the sleeves of his sweatshirt. As the two worked side by side, Rigo noticed that he was slightly taller than Uncle. He noticed that Uncle's pants were too loose for him and that his shirt had flecks of paint on it. He looked at Uncle's shoes. The next morning, Rigo brought his loafers to the couch where Uncle slept. ¿Qué es esto? Uncle asked, opening one eye. What's this? A present for you. Kind of used, but try them on. Uncle sat up and took the shoes. These are the most beautiful shoes I've ever had, he said. He patted Rigo's cheek. You don't mind if they're hand-me-downs? Rigo asked. Hand-me-downs? Nothing, Uncle said. These are brand new. I can go to work in style. He tapped on the soles and then put them on. He squinted an eye at his nephew. Are you sure you want to give them to me? Yeah, I'm sure, Rigo said. To tell you the truth, Uncle, I like them, but they hurt my feet. I grew a little. Uncle reached for his front pocket. These coins are older than I am, Uncle said. He held up 2 centavos, brown as his own skin, and smiled. They're kind of like hand-me-downs, too. When Rigo took the old Mexican coins, he knew what to do with them. Fit them into the slots of his new loafers, if he ever got any. Next time around, he would wear them no matter what people like Angel said. The end. Wow, I really, really, truly liked this story. I thought it was just so family centered. I love the fact celebrating big families. That is something we know in particular in the Black community and African communities. Just like here, this family, they were from Mexico, having that mindset of being able to help each other out. Here it is. You have this big family living together, have his uncle there, and then his uncle willing to even help his nephew out when his nephew was complaining about his hand-me-down clothes. And then how Rigo, he said, no, I'm not going to take that. He said, first he knew that obviously it wasn't going to be enough money for him to really get any clothes. But just the thought of, him just like, wow, like here it is, my uncle want to help me out. And of course, with him paying attention to his uncle, that to me, I really, really loved how they were working together. He wanted to help his uncle in the kitchen with the dishes. And then how he was just got a chance to really observe his uncle and see how his uncle, he really needed some help. And one thing that I really love is that how a lot of times when you see people who struggle the most, a lot of times they are the ones who are most grateful. They are the ones who are most giving. And that's something that you find in a lot of different places globally. You'll have people, people talk about how they visited places, poor countries, maybe it was, Africa or whatever, wherever different places, right? And they see the people smiling, happy, the kids joyful, everybody working together. And people are like, man, what's going on? Why are you so happy? They're grateful. When you're grateful for what you have, when you understand that it could be worse, extremely worse, but you have breath, you're living, you have family who love you, you have a community, that right there gives you life, it gives you hope. And of course, that doesn't mean that you don't strive to have more, because you should always do that. But, again, with that being said, the more you are grateful, the more you are giving, the more you are willing to help somebody in need, trust and believe those blessings are going to come right back on you. Just like the opposite happens when you have people who are selfish. They are cruel. They don't want to share. They want to take from people. They always complain. Everything is a complaint. They have a problem for every solution. Those people, unfortunately, they're going to get back what they're putting out. So just remember that, okay? So that's a beautiful lesson from this story. And that is the end of that read aloud. And I appreciate you all for listening. So a couple of things. Of course, you see the ticker at the bottom. We definitely appreciate all of your donations. Again, like I said, ABC Read, it was established by myself over 10 years ago. And alhamdulillah, all praise is due to God. I've been able to successfully, with the ABC Read team, with our board, with the volunteers and people in the community, we've been able to have reading events that have been able to have dope reading literacy experiences, that we like to call them, because it is an experience. It's not just a place where you come and you do these activities. I mean, people literally come together of all ages because it's intergenerational. And we come together and we have great activities We've done dioramas. We have our Blackified Jeopardy game, as we like to call it. We've had our paint and reads, where I've done a read aloud, and you had the youth. And this is when we had our summer reading camp, our bye summer slide reading camp, and they would be painting on the canvas while I'm doing the read aloud, reading the book by about Jean-Michel Basquiat, the artist. The African, excuse me, he was African American and Puerto Rican artist. But yeah, so just giving an example of just different things that we've done in the community, just a plethora of activities where we're coming together, promoting literacy, helping to eradicate the high levels of illiteracy in our Black and underserved communities, because research definitely has shown that when you have enriching activities, engaging activities for our youth, this is one of the ways that will help them get into reading. All right. And so again, when you're donating, this is what you're giving to. And also we are about to embark upon our very first fundraising gala, whatever you want to call it. My kids like, it's gala. I'm like, okay, whatever. Gala, whatever. It is going to be fire, inshallah, God willing. All right. Great activities. We have a live performance that's going to take place. We're going to have a group literacy writing activity. I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal. And it's all in the cause of us raising funds, again, for ABC Read. Shout out to those who already bought their tickets already. Going to have delicious food. Of course, we're going to have some delicious food. Why we gotta eat, you know what I mean? So we're going to have that, inshallah. It's going to be dope. So if you in Cleveland, you need to get your ticket, okay? Because everybody can't come. We only have 60 spots, okay? And right now, we literally got like about 28 tickets left, okay? So folks, they've been like doing their thing. And some people actually have purchased a ticket and they said, I can't make it. However, I can donate a ticket and you give it to somebody who can come. So we have that opportunity as well. So if you are out of town or if you in town and I can't make it, just simply say you want to donate a ticket, and then we will give it to somebody who is able to come. Okay? So you can do that too. And of course, as y'all see, I got the merch. Reading is freedom. Bam. Y'all better grab your mug. You better grab your hoodie. Yes, it's still hoodie season. Or you can get your t-shirt. You can get your Reading is Freedom bag as well. We have some other designs on there as well. Go check out the website, readingisfreedomshop.com. Okay? To get your purchase on, because this is a movement. All right. This is a movement. We are about literacy. Okay. Period. Full stop. We need to be literate and not just proficient. We want to be on an advanced accelerated level. Okay. We want to be able to read any and everything we need to, like Malcolm X said. Okay. He read everything that he got his hands on. Okay. So, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reading is Freedom. Hey, what's up, my YouTube folks out there? Y'all watching live. I thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure you share this live. Okay? Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you leave some comments saying that, oh, this was nice, dope, whatever. Even if you have a book recommendation, please drop it in the comment sections. I appreciate that. Last but not least, I want to ask you this. I am officially an author. Okay. It is me as well as 9 other amazing, phenomenal, dope women. We have come together from different walks of life, different educational backgrounds, different professions, different abilities. And we've come together to share our stories about how we've taken our setbacks and turned them into comebacks. Okay. We've taken our trials and tribulations and turned them into triumphs. And we are sharing our stories together in a book that we came together with the title called Healed, Empowered, Resilient. So this book right here, this is definitely for show, targeted to our young women and our elderly women as well. Those who are on a journey of healing, those who are on a journey of trying to do different things to transform their lives. This is a movement, a transformative book that can help you do that. And we need to get 1,000 copies purchased for pre-order right now. You can help us. You can do that, okay? And if you're able to come to our book signing in New Jersey, That's right, y'all. Jersey. Never been to Jersey. That's gonna be my first time, y'all. Inshallah. And that is going to be June 28th. So if you're able to make that, that would be phenomenal because then you can get your book then. If not, it's okay. You can still pre-order your copy so that you can get your book mailed to you. Okay. So I'm gonna put the link in there as well. And that's it, y'all. That's how we doing. And I'm doing this. This is all under 30 minutes. I love this. I love it. So thank you all again for listening. Again, my name is Miss Sasha. And remember to please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. And remember, reading is freedom. Peace.